Hello, and welcome to StudioA. I'm Samantha Rojas. And joining me today in the studio are Michael Rivera, Opie Jayoba, Riley Chestnut, and Ivy Guerra. We'll be looking at students helping San Marcos residents, some issues involving safety on the Texas State campus, and a bash downtown like no other. That's all coming up on StudioA. This past week has been an eventful one for student government. At Texas State, Connor Clegg, the student government president, was removed from office Monday. The impeachment came because of Clegg's call for the defunding of the university's star, after a controversial opinion column about whiteness, and social media posts that were considered offensive and racist. Clegg left office with 2 days to go in his term. The new student body president, Brooklyn Boring, was sworn in on Tuesday.
Well, in that case, it's just been incredible, the fact that this movement, it stuck it out. It could have quit, even though he had less than a week left in his term, and let him get away with it scot-free. And it was fantastic to see that they didn't give in. And we saw history here. This is the first time in Texas State's history that the student government president was impeached.
Yeah, that's true. And what's crazy is, do you know that the person who took over was his ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, and you want to know something even crazier? He didn't even vote for her. He voted for Miller Shelvin.
Really?
Yes, that can say a lot.
Well, I think they should have won to begin with. I don't think that as soon as the comments were said, he should have been taken out of office. But then again, you know, I'm graduating, so
Better late than never.
better late than never.
Student government isn't the only thing facing change. Everywhere you look on campus, there's something new to see. Lauren Fisher runs down some of the construction project all around us.
Ongoing construction is changing the face of the campus. To keep up with the growing student population, the Department of Housing and Residential Life plans to change one former residential hall, Elliott, into an office. Blanco Hall will undergo costly renovations to replace the bedrooms lost from Elliott. And while that is occurring, Arnold, Smith, Hornsby, and Burleson halls are set to be demolished and replaced by brand new residence halls. The new halls will include 1,200 bed spaces, and the construction will cost around $135 million. Michael Petty, Director of Construction, confirmed there is no set completion date for a lot of these projects.
And people don't realize this, that from that point right there where somebody says, we need to do something, to the point that we actually occupy it, can be 4 years. And when you tell people that in the beginning it's going to be 4 years, they just come unglued. How can that be? It didn't take that long to build my house. Well, come on.
The big changes coming to campus are hard for some. Thomas Mejia, an RA for San Jancito, will be sad to see these halls go, and for good reason.
Renovated Retama, and I've been in Retama. I actually lived in Retama before it was renovated, and so when I walked in there, it was completely different. So I don't know. It really just depends on the building, because I feel like if the building structure is there, then there's no need to tear it down and rebuild a new one. If the building structure is still stable, I would.
At Elliott Hall, a specific college or major has yet to claim the newly announced office space, and renovations are said to have just started in many of the halls previously listed. For Studio A, I'm Lauren Fisher.
So I've been a student here at Texas State for 4 years, and ever since I've been here, has been construction every single time, in the same places, and I don't know, is it ever gonna stop?
Yeah, what Michael Petty said, in 4 years, everything should be ready for the new freshmen, but I know it's pretty harsh on freshmen right now in the dorms with all that noise, but it's just what you have to go through for a university.
But my thing is how long are we going to have to go through this? they've been doing construction since I was a freshman 4 years ago, and it's like, when does it ever stop? It just seems like they just keep taking our money and just finding new things to fix when we have like the music building or the theater building that looks crazy, but yet we're not getting any funding for it, you know?
Yeah.
As the spring semester comes to an end, you can sense the excitement in the air for the summer. But while most of Texas State is ready to finish and leave, some folks couldn't let the season pass without their annual spring cleaning for a town they've come to know as home. Edgardo Hernandez reports.
Scraping, painting, and basic gardening. These are just some of the helpful tasks that took place during Bobcat Build, Texas State University's longest running tradition and the second largest one-day community service event in Texas. Earlier this month, Texas State held their 16th annual Bobcat Build, with over 5,000 volunteers lending a helping hand to San Marcos residents.
So those volunteers, I mean, they're the ones that go out and represent us, represent Bobcat Build, represent the university. So we appreciate them the most, almost, for coming out and going out there and doing the hard work and representing us well.
Being a one-day event, volunteers plan restlessly year-round, coordinating job roles, acquiring sponsors, and gathering supplies. Although preparation was demanding, their effort was most appreciated by those San Marcos residents who reached out for help.
I'm just like really grateful that they have such a good attitude and they're out here in the cold, just getting up early, trying to come out here and help me with my yard. Like, that's awesome.
As Bobcats put their home improvement skills to good use, some found multiple reasons to enjoy assisting at Bobcat Build.
It's a lot of fun, and it's different from something you do every day, and it's an opportunity to like be a part of something big that everybody gets to join in and just do this one big great thing together. I think everybody would enjoy it.
With multiple parties involved, Bobcat Build is about partaking in something bigger and uniting everyone for one overarching purpose, giving one day of support back to the community.
I mean, you can take one day out of 365 days to help out the community. Why not give back, you know?
For StudioA, this is Edgardo Hernandez.
Funny.
So I think the Bobcat Build program is pretty amazing. I think it's just great that students volunteer to actually go help the residents here in San Marcos. It's a great way to like give back, and I just think it's awesome.
I agree too. I like how the university is giving us a sense of how it is to give back, because you know we do come here a lot of times. Being college students, we could be caught up in ourselves and not others, and you know you never know what can make another person's day. And so by doing Bobcat Build, I just think it's an amazing thing that we're doing.
I think, you know, being college students, it's a good way to get back to the community because we can be kind of, you know, we can create a ruckus and we can leave messes behind. So it's a way to show the community like, hey, we're giving back to y'all, we care about y'all. So, and coming up on StudioA, believe it or not, sex trafficking has come to Texas State. And we'll look at campus safety of our campus in general. Those stories and more when StudioA returns.
In our world, there are 7.6 billion people. San Marcos has 61,980 people. But 1 out of 7 residents in Hays County struggle with hunger. 8,690 children are food insecure. Hunger isn't caused by lack of food, but rather the continued prevalence of poverty. That's why Hays County Food Bank is focused on addressing the root causes of hunger. Together, we can eliminate world hunger. And all it takes is your effort.
On a campus as large as Texas State, we can really think of ourselves as a medium-sized city, with all the problems a city might have. Opie, you uncovered a problem that we might not associate with a university.
It's hard to believe, but yes, sex trafficking is real, and I want you guys to take a look. With the growing population at Texas State, it is imperative to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
According to UC San Diego, sex trafficking generates over $150 billion in illegal profits each year, with more than 1/3 of that amount coming from forced labor and sexual exploitation. Here at Texas State and the city of San Marcos, there have been many concerns regarding sex trafficking. In fact, some students such as Amelia Mook have had run-ins with possible sex trafficking perpetrators.
So I was the only one on the quad, and these two women came up to me and they just started talking to me, kind of how, like, I guess they were just talking about like the mother god, and they had like pamphlets and they were just very pushy and they wouldn't let me leave.
Classes are in session all throughout the day and can run on into the nighttime. If someone ever feels unsafe and has to trek across campus alone, Bobcat Bobbies run all night to ensure safety.
We are a night escort, safety escort for people who feel endangered or would like to get across campus in a safe manner, not walk alone. We provide walking escorts and riding escorts on our golf carts, and since we have been implemented, we have seen great changes in sexual assault numbers and in cases showing up at the University Police Department.
For StudioA, this is Opoyemi J. Oprah.
So Opie, you're out at night shooting this story. Obviously, the ratio of women who are sold into trafficking is a little bit higher than men. So just how terrifying was it trying to get the story out and putting yourself in peril along the way?
I was scared. Do you hear me? I actually shot the story twice. The first time I went by myself, but my emotions was playing with me, so I just decided to make the executive decision and leave. The second time I brought my friends with me, but it was still scary. And my dad told me do not get kidnapped, so I just had to sit there, go through it, then leave. So, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't that bad. I guess I went at a proper time.
Turning to something lighter, Friday the 13th is the big day for local tattoo parlors. Logan Harris says that's when they make tattoos available at a greatly reduced price, and people can't get enough.
It's Friday the 13th, a day known for its bad fortune, bad luck, and scary vibes. So why are there lines of people outside the San Marcos tattoo parlor?
So apparently there's Friday the 13th. They have a bunch of cool deals here at the tattoo shop in San Marcos, and piercings and tattoos are $13 today.
For those who may be unaware of the usual cost of a tattoo or piercing, you'd be hard matched to find a better price deal than $13 for either. With savings like that, it's no surprise to see mobs of people line up at these tattoo shops. An attraction like this brings out a lot of different people. Some who have been here before,
It's like my millionth time here, but we're back at it.
and some who are here for the first time getting their very first tattoo.
It's my first tattoo. So
First tattoo?
Yes, I'm very terrified but yet excited. So
I'm looking over there, anything you...
I have no clue what I'm gonna get yet. Hopefully something will speak to me. Some of these aren't really my style, but I mean some of these are, so we'll find out.
So whether it's your first time out here on Friday the 13th or your millionth, you're set to save a buck, have a good time, and leave with a lasting impression.
Small and simple, cute, yet sophisticated. That's my style, know what I'm saying?
From StudioA, I'm Logan Harris.
I don't have any tats or anything like that, and I will be terrified to go and get my first one at Friday the 13th because there's so many people trying to get one. Do any of y'all have any?
So I actually have 2 tattoos. I have one on my wrist and one on my left shoulder. And I can say that they were definitely thought out, and actually have some pretty good meaning behind them. So I don't know how I would feel about getting a $13 tattoo at all.
No, I would not do that at all. Maybe if I was maybe intoxicated, but
Yeah, same. I don't think that a tattoo for $13 will be a great one at that. I feel like there's a lot of people, so they'll be rushing. We don't know if they're cleaning up. I just don't think getting it in that short amount of time would be helpful.
Yeah. I'm going to keep my $60 because you have that thing when you're 75. It might not look as good as when you were 20.
It's true.
turn into mush, probably.
Yeah.
Roughly, half of us have specific monthly needs, and the student government here took action last month to deal with them. Free pads and tampons will start appearing in women's restrooms on campus. Shark Week. code red, and that time of the month are some of the slang that people use to describe their menstrual cycles. With period talk being such a taboo, Texas State student government is breaking silence on the topic. On March 19th of 2018, the Menstrual Hygiene Availability Act was passed at the student government's roundtable.
Also, they really shouldn't even be up for sale. Like, that shouldn't be something that people can profit off of, because they're a basic human need. We need these things. It's not a luxury. We did not ask for this.
The Act's purpose is to help lower the cost of student expenses on such products and increase availability to the student body.
I know for me, there's times where it's like it's towards the end of the week, I haven't gotten paid yet, so it's like I have $20 left, what am I going to do? Am I going to go and buy tampons and pads, or am I going to go and get something to eat? So if we have that available for free, it's a really good help for all of us.
Products will be provided through &Flow, an organization which believes that free menstrual products should be accessible to anyone at any time. The university will begin a pilot program where products like pads and tampons will be provided in the 3 multi-ability buildings on campus. Following feedback, the program will move forward.
I just think it's a really great thing that the university is doing, because it comes every month, but sometimes with our lives we don't realize when it's coming, or we may forget to bring extra with us. So the simple fact that the university is doing that for us, it really makes me happy, because they care,
Mm-hmm. Like the interviewee said, we didn't ask for this. So it is kind of difficult to deal with, especially when we've got school and work and everything else going on in our lives. It is good to know that the university will start supplying stuff like that for us.
Yeah, it really is comforting to know that we'll have, if something happens unexpectedly, we'll have a supply here to go back to. So that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break for now, but when we come back, we'll look at a new place for video gaming in town. And you don't want to miss Drag Night.
Imagine a lusher, greener San Marcos with interconnected natural areas around town, rich with diverse flora and fauna. A place of winding paths open for pedestrians to explore the blissfulness of nature without disturbing the fragile areas or the creatures that inhabit them. The San Marcos Greenbelt Alliance shares this vision. They're a nonprofit organization working at the community and political level to preserve and better San Marcos' natural beauty. Through community education and outreach, they strive to build a passion for conservation. And their cooperation with local developers ensures that our beautiful city is progressing with nature in mind. But they can't do it alone. There are plenty of volunteer opportunities open to everyone. Visit www.smgreenbelt.org for more information on their efforts and ways to get involved.
If you like to play video games, and who doesn't, you've got a new place to visit in San Marcos. Sloan Priest says it fills a gaping hole.
Over the past few years, video game culture has been growing. But with the closure of Hungry Gamer on the square, gamers in San Marcos have been left without a place to congregate.
So I just think it's important to keep these machines alive, and it's fun. It's not like you just playing on your phone like this. It's you next to your friend, and you're battling out, you're having fun. And I just think there's something really cool about that.
TGL is a hybrid gaming lounge and arcade venue and is hoping to bring gaming back to the community. Owner Imran Acosta believes that there is something culturally special about being at an arcade and facing people.
Yeah, so today's the grand opening of Texas Gamers Lounge. Video games are important to our culture. It's important to our generation and the next generation, but taking it a step further, I believe that there's a social aspect that's very important to gaming. It's one thing to play a game at home, it's another thing to come in public and play against a stranger or play against your friend or play against random people that you never would have a chance to meet unless you came here to meet them.
TGL will be holding tournaments and special events for gamers. For more information, visit their Facebook page. For Studio A, I'm Sloan Priest.
With games like Street Fighter and Tekken, more people are getting into the competitive scene, and that involves big arcade systems, like from the 90s. And then San Marcos finally has a place where you can practice your skills.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it seems like it's an unofficial form of social media because it's a brand new way that people can connect no matter where you are and have a good time and build a community together. Make a little money too.
Yep.
And finally, if you're looking for something fun and unusual, head over to Stonewall on Friday nights. Not Stonewall, Texas, but Stonewall, the only gay bar in San Marcos. Friday nights are spotlight nights at Stonewall, and videographer Amelia Mook stopped in to see what their Vogue night was all about.
Y'all give it up and make some noise for your hosts this evening, Tasha, Fierce, Kennedy, and Gregory Joseph Gray.
I remember sitting in my bedroom when I was like maybe 12 years old, and I saw my first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, and I was like, that is so interesting, because I remember comparing it to Project Runway and America's Next Top Model. So I was like, literally two of my favorite shows in one. I want to do that.
Stonewall, of course, is the first gay bar of San Marcos. It's always been like a beautiful place to be. To me, it's kind of an undiscovered gem of San Marcos. Like, the atmosphere is unlike any other place on the square, and like, no shade, but it's absolutely beautiful in here. Like, where else do these colors come and compete?
For drag, a lot of it is for you guys. We like to make sure that when you come in here, you leave all your problems outside the door and it's like, have fun.
Wow, I just love it. Okay, like that was a really great. Like, I love how, you know, the city of San Marcos has a place for, you know, people who are of the you y'all know what I'm trying to say, the community, LGBT community, give them a space of safety and for them to express themselves and to do crazy things. I like it.
Yeah, drag nights are definitely a colorful show. I think they're amazing, and they're so fun to be at. There's just the atmosphere it's so welcoming and it's so warming, and it's for everybody, honestly. Just to go out and have a good time with your friends. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for Studio A for today and for spring semester. For Michael Rivera, Opie Jayoba, Riley Chestnut, and Ivy Guerra, I'm Samantha Rojas. We're on the Studio A YouTube channel, and this show will be back in the fall. Until then, goodbye.